let's talk about what the homework is, and then talk for a couple minutes about how one might approach it. Get a README up. I'm gonna get rid of all this stuff. I said I would add a credit to the person who made the quill graphic, and I will keep this project was bootstrapped with Create React App at the bottom. Here's our homework. Part 1, load data in the form when a node is clicked in the list. We've made it so that we can console log when we click. Now we need to make it so that the form changes. And there are some clues in the notes for today on the website. Some things that might help you figure out some of that stuff. Bonus credit, add a note to the list when the form is submitted. There are links that will help you with this, actually. You might have enough information to do this part. So add a note to the list when the form is submitted. Tappity, 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 submit, or whatever. I want a new one to show up in the list. Keep in mind, these two components cannot talk to one another. When will a new thing show up in the list here? Whenever a new note shows up in app state, right? So the form just needs to worry about adding the note to app state. It doesn't need to know that that will redraw the note list. That part's already done. You change the data, note list will change. So don't think of it as this component doing something to this. This component just needs to do something to our data source, and then this will just pick it up. So you just have to figure out how to do that first part. Super mega bonus credit, make the delete button work. There's a lonely trash can here, yearning to be free. Super mega bonus credit, hyperfighting. This is no harder than this, but you know. Make the plus button in the sidebar. Clear out the form so a new note can be added. This one. Make that work. So, all of these things really involve changing data that doesn't live in that component. Our list of notes is on app, right? Who's allowed to change the state of app? Only app. Only app is allowed to modify its own state, and only by using set state. So how the heck do we do it from somewhere else? Any ideas? John? So only app can change its own state, right? So we write a method on app that makes the appropriate change. Now we just need to be able to call that method from somewhere else. Can we pass that method down as a prop? Can functions be props? Can functions be arguments to other functions? Heck yeah, they can. So you're passing a callback down as a prop. So that's kind of the key to all of this. Only app can do things with its own state. So you need to write functions to deal with that state up at the level of the app component, and then pass those methods down as props when appropriate, so that they can be called at the appropriate time, like when you click on something or submit a form or type in a form or whatever. So that is the homework. And I believe I've updated the website already. Bootcamp 17S3. Week 2, day 6. So we talk about Here's some links about functional stateless components, why you prefer them. Talk about what we talk about, some examples of using map with components. If that part confuses you, these are some pretty simple examples. And down here with the homework, there's the homework, and here are some links that may help you. Controlled versus uncontrolled forms, and then a blog post, controlled and uncontrolled form inputs in React don't have to be complicated. So if you want a form control to do something in React, we shouldn't use our old ways. We don't want to deal with the DOM directly ever. We just want to deal with our state and props. And we want to write JSX that tells the page how to render. But we don't want to deal directly with DOM. We don't want to ever use document.querySelector or anything like that. So we need new ways to deal with that. And this tells you a couple different ways of doing that with form data. So we haven't covered it yet, but if you are ambitious and want to do the bonus credit, that's a big step in that direction. And in fact, it might even help you with the base homework, because even that deals with the form. But you can probably get that to work without. Okay? Groovy? Questions?